And it's a prequel. There is a full game. But it looked cool. And I like the art. The art's very beautiful. So I figured this would be a good one to have a look at. And I don't think this one is going to be that bad. So there's also extras. What's in extras? Codex. Oh wow, look at this. And then it shows you like the karma and traits between people. Thanks, cat. Thanks for ruining my fucking room. Fucking cat. Seriously? Jesus. This is cool. Okay. What other stuff? Story chapters. There's only 2 chapters, so that's not too bad. Gallery. So, what is Season Pass then? So I guess that's when you got the full game. So this is the prequel. The short visual novel can be considered a little introductory episode to the game Elisa the Innkeeper. Enjoy our art soundtrack. Begin... Oh, okay, thank you. The inn was warm and hearty. The construction was solid, whilst an aroma of stone oak and the faint fragrance of flowers filled the entirety of the first floor. Elisa the Innkeeper was running laps around the bar to serve various Sunday customers. A prince approached, found an open stool, and took a seat where he could catch a glaze of the busy innkeeper.
Damn, she really beautiful. Every time I see her, I fall in love all over again,
he thought to himself while he was taking a sip from his beer. Elisa noticed the prince in his stool. He certainly caught his attention, and she leant forward to wipe down the counter. Leant forward. I just butchered the English.
Did I ever tell you that I used to live in a castle?
Preoccupied with cleaning the sopping counter, she hadn't noticed the front of her blouse had become wet. The prince tried his best not to take full advantage of the situation. Oh really? I don't think I've ever mentioned it, so I assume you're some kind of nobleman? Full of himself and with a smirk, he placed his glass on the freshly cleaned counter.
I am without a doubt one of the finest men you've met.
She smiled and decided to rest her head on her palms. Do you mean that you're different than all the other nobles that come into my inn?
Wow, you can see everything from this angle. But of course, no one could replicate family or noble being.
I've seen many princes come in here. However, there's something different about you. The prince suddenly noticed that all our patrons have vanished by now. So tell me, what do you think makes you so special? As I knock down the microphone. Cat, can you fucking leave the room? This whole house is just filled with animals that I just don't. Did she really just ask me that? Stalling. Oh, stalling. There's a comma there. I can't see with my shades on. He downed the last of his beer.
I own most of the majestic castle in all of Florence.
And what else?
She's so close I can smell her. Her perfume is so sensual.
I would love to
caress her. Should I try to? Perhaps I might.
Should we save it first? Suddenly a strange feeling overwhelmed him. I believe it's time for you to wake up. What?
Oh, what?
You need to wake up. Elisa, once so close that could have held in her grasp, has suddenly begun to fade to black. Such a shame. The beauty in my dreams is almost too sweet to savor. The prince woke up in a daze.
Just a dream. He thought bringing his hand to soothe a pain that racked around his head. My head is killing me. What happened last night?
He glanced around the room and found broken bottles and plates, obviously nothing to be proud of.
Have I been robbed?
He sluggishly muttered. If he'd been burgled, he'd likely be left nude, due to the price of his wardrobe.
What could have I got myself into? I feel so sick.
With the windows shut and the drapes drawn, the room fell silent, and the prince was able to focus his attention on the throbbing headache.
The only thing I remember is how exhausted I was when I finally went to bed. Yet somehow I don't recognize this place. I don't think I'm even in the right inn. Ugh. Thinking it's not helping. I need more rest.
It's too early for this. Even if it's noon, why should I have to wake up so early? It's not like I have a job. Back to bed.
To hell with the early risers and go-getters of the world. How wise it is to waste the body on hard work. I'm off to sleep.
He sighed and plopped back in the bed.
The stench isn't intolerable as soon as I forgot about how I've fallen asleep. As soon as I'll be back with my sweet innkeeper.
Soon enough, the darkness of slumber surrounded and encapsulated him. And once again, he found himself with the lovely Elisa. So we meet again.
I couldn't have gone far without taking one last eyeful of you,
he replied, setting up his stool once more. Are you sure? I think I've seen your eyes that are not exactly turned towards mine, the innkeeper responded playfully with a faint smirk on her face. If I were to guess, I think that you were trained a few notches south, would you say?
I'm looking at your hands. They're so beautiful and slender. They're wasted on the kind of labor someone else should do it for you.
I know, but this is my inn, so it's my responsibility. Anyway, I'm still not convinced my hands are where your eyes were. You raised a cherry. Is something the matter?
Huh? No. Heavens, no.
The prince replied immediately in an attempt to save face. So if nothing's wrong, why be honest with me? She asked absently.
The front of your blouse, Miss Elisa.
The prince attempted, nonchalantly, but his cheeks and the back of his ears were practically ablaze. She noticed his embarrassment and replied, "Oh my, you're right, I'm soaked."
Please, take my coat.
Shamefully, he removed and offered his coat while turning away to show decency. I can't really work in these conditions, I'm too wet, I have to go change immediately. Hell yeah. This is authentic southern hospitality.
Please go. I am a noble. Someone of my stature should not take a peek at an undressed maiden, even the tiniest peek.
He suddenly felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned around and found Elisa, his eyes fixed upon his. Oh shit! If this is a dream, then why don't we make it a bit more interesting?
What?
You want to come with me, Your Majesty? She's still around his face, her face flushed. Head slumped, she's waiting for the prince to make a move. Oh, Nelly! Keep dreaming! Keep dreaming, please!
I don't believe this.
He shook all doubt out of his head and knew what she wanted him to do. He wrapped his hands around her hips.
Oh, shit!
What are you doing? Thighs began to... Thick thighs, boys! Before she knew it, she was lying down on the counter of the bar. The prince caressed her face and gazed deep into the sunset-flavored eyes. The sunlight flooded past the windows and cast a spotlight on the two lovers.
I've been waiting for this moment, for such as this throughout my entire life.
My king. Her breath hushed as nervous. She wasn't expecting something sweet to escape his lips. If you desire me, then take me. Her face began to move close to his, their nose caressing as she inched her towards his lips. My lord, open the door this instant.
Somebody dares to call me now, they can shove off.
Gently wrapping his hand around her head, he pulled her closer. I'm so hot. The innkeeper whispered as she grazed the lips of the prince. Suddenly, the inn, the bar, and Elisa fell into the abyss and was torn in the dream back into reality. Don't stop dreaming. Oh, thank you, Wigo. Thanks for the... Dude, thanks for the cheers, dude. Thank you. He bounced to his feet. The room was mostly empty as sunbeams poured in the window in his face, stealing the opportunity to gain more slumber.
Just a dream. What a shame. I was getting good. Think nothing of this indecent banging on the door. This prince's instincts was to take a yawn, take back on the mattress.
Yeah, take your time in there.
Huh?
Are you joking? You got no reason to keep standing around waiting for me to wake up. I'm a busy man after all. Will you be signing these papers or not?
What papers? You forgotten?
You've forgotten last night we reached an agreement on the sale of your castle. I'll come back this morning with all the proper documents and find you sleeping. You must have had one too many and forgotten all about it.
The prince stood up from his bed. We've just been cock-blocked. Clothes strewn about, furniture overturned, the bottles littered the floor.
Watch your tongue, boy.
Oh, please, not to get angry. I was just joking.
Such arrogance. Keep your jokes to yourself. You should consider your slanderous jokes are worth a decade of imprisonment.
The merchant took the papers out of his bag and held them aside. Took only a few moments to dry the remaining spillage of wine and beer from the table. Such a self-respectable businessman wasn't accustomed to conducting business in such a place, but buying a castle wasn't an everyday expense.
Nobody intended to disrespect you, my lord.
The merchant mumbled, even if he didn't mean to. After a while, the nobleman's mind cleared up, allowing him to notice that the door was left open.
Wait a second.
The merchant forced a smile, looking around. The prince pointing to the door.
How did you enter my room? Why is this door in such a despair?
Oh, I'm playing him now? Oh, I'm asking him stuff. How did you enter the room?
Well, you see, the door was broken when I arrived.
That is a lie.
Let's not get too confused on the broken one. It's broken now.
Norman wiped his forehead looking at the papers.
My head hurts far too much to conduct business. You should consider yourself lucky. So young and so rich, you should keep your possessions close. One day, you might wake up with it all gone.
Has it happened to you? I am shocked at how inflated your ego has become even when you're forced to sell your own valuable assets to pay off your debt. You still manage to keep yourself above all others. Bravo, your majesty.
That is adorable. Maybe one day you will attain the magnitude that I have matching mine.
And what a wonderful spirit.
The merchant thought. The prince then extracted a pen from his pocket and laid it on the paper.
I will face this challenge with dignity. Unlike others, I do not need possessions to display my grandeur. However, as rich as you are, this is quite a sum we're talking about. I demand payment up front.
1,000 pardons, my lord. You're completely right. A man like you needs a guarantee.
The merchant took from his coat a bag full of gold coins, which the prince did not expect.
Consider this a generous advance payment. Now all you have to do is sign these documents.
He gestured the pen to the nobleman. The prince, on his part, surprised by the unforeseen lump of gold in front of him, did not have any words to further discussion. A greedy thought crossed the prince's mind as he tried to spot how far away the bathroom was from the room.
With all that money, I'd not only pay off my debt, but I could easily live off in comfort without giving up my calf.
Ooh, he could steal.
Is something wrong? Is so much you're lacking?
I don't feel so well. I feel I have to excuse myself.
Quick as a bolt of lightning, he jumped from his stool, throwing all the papers to the ground and snatching the bag of gold.
This is my chance.
He thought as he hid the bag with the coat with a fluid gesture, while the merchant went to collect his precious papers without a moment to lose. The prince chose to take off.
As soon as I reach the bathroom, I'll be able to escape through the window. What a fool to leave all that money on the table.
Trying to stealthily keep the bag in its place with his coat, he ran downstairs and darted to the bathroom, his face gleaming with joy.
He isn't coming after me. I did it. Less than 10 meters to the bathroom.
The prince was so focused on his thoughts he didn't spot the girl walking in his direction. He inevitably hit her and fell to the ground.
Ouch, what happened?
The girl's long dark hair obscured his vision.
Ooh, how soft.
The unknown woman covered her face with his hands, blushing beet red.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me, I beg you.
He found himself underneath her, his face deep within her cleavage.
I'm not sure what's happening, but I do declare.
In short, the girl wriggled herself free, stood up and ran away, covering her face in shame.
I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. I wasn't paying attention to where I was going.
The prince stood up slowly, still dumbfounded.
Oh, I can't waste any more time.
Quickly, he stepped in the first room and left the closed door behind him.
That was a happy accident.
Panting, he leaned against the door to catch his breath. He checked his coat pockets to see where he stashed the... She stole the gold!
Where's my money? How is this possible? Did I really... Oh, no.
His mind went blank and retraced his steps.
It must have been that girl. I have to find her. I couldn't even see her face. What do I do now?
Abruptly, I went back to the hallway before I could finish the thought. He found the merchant stopping in his place.
I finally found you. For a moment, I thought you ran away.
The merchant said, laughing.
My money. You have it.
You have it.
Not at all. That dirty thief stole the bag. I tried to protect it.
You're right.
The nobleman gave a final look around, failing to spot the dark-haired girl.
This is all your fault.
The merchant stared at him, speechless.
Do you really want to blame me?
The prince was enraged. He slammed his hand on a nearby table and explained.
I demand to be compensated for my loss.
I hope you're kidding. What would I have to do with you getting robbed?
How convenient for you to say that as a result of chance. For such an important deal, you should have prepared yourself an armed escort. Do you not consider your clients, more importantly myself, enough?
The merchant took a deep breath before replying. He found it difficult to contain his rage any longer. It would have been easier to call the guards and alert them as to what happened. However, he chose to be accommodating.
My clients are of the utmost importance to me. If I weren't so, I wouldn't be so bound to be the worthy merchant I am today.
He's just boasting now. If you're so rich as you claim, then you're compensating me accordingly.
For my part, I already gave you my house, the total sum of your property. If you're on the other half, you should sign the papers before I change my mind.
Annoyed by the nobleman, grabbed the papers, scribbled out a quick, precise signature with all the papers.
There you go.
I cannot say it was a pleasure to do business with you, but at least the deal is finally done.
He extended his hand to the prince after carefully placing all the paperwork within his bag.
I want you to believe that you do not intend to scam me with the other half of the money as well.
He refused to comply with the merchant's gesture.
There'll be no chances for the remaining money I owe you. Now, if you excuse me, I have another urgent appointment. Goodbye, my lord.
The merchant left the inn.
Oh, shit, son. Damn him. After all this, I was only able to get half of what he owes. The girl certainly was in cahoots with him. Now I understand why he wanted to give me so much money in advance.
Hopelessly, he sat at the bar, slammed a couple of silver coins against the pavement for the room. He really ripped me off. What a turn of bad luck.
What a turn of bad luck. I no longer have a reason to stay.
He made his way outside. The air was humid, and dark clouds were forming over the city. People fled indoors to avoid the imminent rain. Obvious to this, the prince walked with his head slumped in deep thought.
Why can't I remember the face of that girl? She was a mere few inches from me.
He mumbled as he briskly walked down the pathway.
Damn, what could I have done with all that money? I can't remember anything. Every time I try to picture, I can only remember two things that nearly suffocated me.
With a deep sigh, he cleaned his mind. The first raindrops began to fall.
I'm certain she was in agreement with that merchant somehow. It isn't possible that it was the result of chance. Just thinking about it makes me want to bash my head in it against the wall. But I forget about it. What's done is done. I only feel worse about keeping it. Now I feel focused on how to woo the beautiful Elisa. Oh no, I've got no money. How could I forget? I only have a handful of coins left. How will I manage to conquer if I can barely pay for a room?
The rain fell harder. He sped up despite his distractions in his head. He turned a corner and found a building he'd been searching for. Eliza's Inn.
There it is.
He sprinted the remaining way, being soaked, but didn't weigh on the prince's confidence. He proudly strutted into the inn. He removed his coat and found a waiter ready to serve him.
Hey, welcome, my lord. Well, what's the matter, you? Why, yeah, thank you so much. Now, leave me be. I'll be in my room. Hey, I'm sorry, my lord, but you can't enter that room. Know what I'm saying? I am not in the mood for whatever attitude you have towards me. Is that clear?
The prince snarled. The waiter, recognizing the hostile circumstances, Stain, but he knew I'd do that accent. Did not speak as he went back to his business.
Oh my god, I'm walking in! Not today.
He walked upstairs without turning back. Once he was at the top of the stairs, he moved toward the corridor to enter the first room on the left, his regular room. He found some peace of mind as he closed the door behind him. What a day. Nothing went right. I hope the water is warm at the very least. Oh, sorry, I didn't do his accent. Sat on the bed and began taking off his shoes. At some point, he saw a small book on the floor.
It seems to be a diary.
He bent down to pick up the book, looking around as if he'd being watched. Upon further inspection, he found a letter. E was engraved on the cover. Suddenly interesting, he opened the diary and took a long look at the first page.
Oh, wait a second. I shouldn't read a woman's diary.
The prince lingered over the name written on the first page without looking away.
I'm only here to take a bath. No need to rush. I must admit, this certainly piqued my curiosity. If this is Elisa's story, I have to know.
He turned the page and began reading. November 15th. I'm sitting here on the desk in my old room lonely. Fingering my twat. No, writing on an old diary. I don't want to talk to anyone. Maybe but writing. I'll be able to vent. Get past it. Feel stupid. November 17th. Rereading what I wrote is even more awkward. November 28th. My mother is all over me. She never lets me do anything. Oh, shit. Gotta kill the mum. December 1st. I feel lonely. Fuck. December 4th. Happy birthday to me. December 9th, there's a holiday. Jesus. 17th, yesterday my mother came to me with a dejection expression. Stop crying. December 21st, I feel like I'm dying. Jesus, she's depressed. December 25th. December 27th, there's so much stuff lying on the ground I barely recognize my bed. January 7th, finally yesterday I cleaned my whole room. Jesus.
Wow, what a tragic tale. I'm just trying to get in that puss though, but okay. She never mentioned her father's death. She'd been so cheerful to me.
His mind tried to process everything he took in, but it didn't take long before pity took the place of his curiosity, leaving the prince with nothing but the rain softly patting against the rooftop.
I feel guilty for not giving myself the liberty of reading this diary. I cannot keep meddling in affairs.
The prince whispered as he placed down the diary on the bed. The thought of having the diary now haunted him.
Ugh. I can't involve myself in this. These are private matters.
The storm grew louder, pulling the prince back to reality. His clothes were wet and soon became uncomfortably wet.
As usual, the bathrooms of the inn are always in amazing condition.
He didn't want the feel. He got the feels. That's the only way he's going to get there. Thank you, Eagle, for the tip. The cup almost runneth over. As the prince opened the door, he was soon petrified. The thought of an occupied bathroom hadn't crossed his mind.
Ugh.
Eliza was in front of him wearing nothing but a towel. Her body was still wet, but stopped abruptly. The two stood in front of each other, staring. This moment seemed to last for an eternity. Then Eliza tried to cover herself more, ashamedly screaming, running out of the bathroom. Don't you knock? The screams of the innkeeper were so loud they could have cracked the walls. The sounds of the door slamming shut around the prince began to breathe again. He was still immobilized.
She was naked. Fully naked. Am I dreaming?
Oh, but she left her diary here. Common sense would dictate I give it back to her. However, I could probably find a couple of juicy tidbits between the pages.
I'm starting to think that fate finally decided with me to bring this gift. I'm sure nothing's going to go to waste chance. I wonder if I should apologize.
Ooh, should I save it again? The prince pressed his ear to the wall and attempted to listen to what was happening in the room. He could hear faint sobs. The girl was crying.
Maybe now is not the right time. I'm freezing, but I have to have a bath.
It's never a good idea to bother a girl in such a delicate moment. Once he changed, the prince made up his mind and decided to reach the girl in her room. With the intent to apologize, he had to make a tremendous effort to knock on the door. Yes?
It's me, my lady. I promise to apologize. I did not think I'd find you in the bathroom.
Don't worry, it's alright.
By God, I care about what happened. I would like to apologize in person if you allow me. If may I enter?
After that question, there was a moment of silence. It was long enough to make the young man doubt his words. You may enter if you desire. The prince confidently stepped in the room and saw Eliza on the bed, her eyes wet and her face sad. He got stuck. It was impossible for him to say the words he prepared. "Have you seen me?" asked the girl who just stopped crying. The question sent the prince into a panic, and he improvised the best he could.
Nothing, I swear. You were fully covered.
Are you sure you didn't really see anything?
I swear on my life. I'm sorry for all this. I just wanted to apologize sooner, but then I decided to wait to give you some time to yourself. Was that a bad idea?
Hearing these words, the girl's face relaxed, and she seemed to cheer up a bit. "No, not at all. It was very nice on your part. You really do know me. What a surprise. Only my father was able to understand my feelings so well."
That's because I've read your diary. It was written in the diary. The same goes for me. I was very close to my mother. May she rest in peace.
What happened to her? The prince had to focus extremely not hard to break a web Eliza woven. His mother, in reality, was far from dead. She was he's just being a cunt. A great move exploiting what he read in the diary to get close to the girl's heart.
Illness.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. Losing a loved one is indeed devastating. I'd know.
Almost there. Just one more nudge. Do you mean that you too? No. I don't mean to ask such a personal question.
Do not worry. I feel I can be open with you. It's an immense pleasure for me that you would say that.
Finding that diary has been the biggest stroke of good luck I've ever had.
I've lost my father years ago. I know full well how it feels.
It's like a part he was missing, right?
The last sentence made the girl look away, hesitating. Sadness filled her mind. Suddenly she was feeling the same loneliness she experienced as a child.
Life goes on and we're here after all, isn't that so?
Yes, you're right. It doesn't help to try and seek refuge in the past, forgetting the present. A gust of wind crossed the room, lifting the bedsheets and moving past the prince's shirt. The awkwardness was gone. The two felt like they'd known each other for ages after this talk. You know, I never would have expected that behind the nobility was a sensitive soul. It's a nice surprise. The girl's face was hit by a ray of light, and immediately she found joy that such a key part of her character, then went to go look out the window, noticing the sun setting. The day was about to end. Oh man, it's late. We really should postpone our talk. Eliza then rushed out the room towards the prince for one last time before going out.
I still can't believe, the prince thought. Eliza, forgive me for seeing her naked. This is a clear sign luck has not abandoned me yet. Now I simply must play my part until the end. Even if we go as planned, I'm able to endure her without winning for a few days. Nobody, nothing will ever be able to hinder me.
He put back the diary in his coat in order to avoid he's a scumbag. He's a scum. He was alright to begin with. Our hero looked so happy he didn't pay attention to the waiter there to collect his money. This was routinely part of the worst part of his day.
I would like to stay for a week. Here's some money. Since I'm in such a good mood, I will give you a generous tip.
Hey, I'm flattered here. However, you guys, there's another guest. He'll arrive shortly before you.
What guest?
As a response to his inquiry, suddenly the merchant appeared.
Oh, you again.
Yeah, would you look at that? I didn't think you'd be staying here either.
This guy's always around.
The satisfied expression of the prince quickly filled with anxiousness, and all the positivity he gathered during the daily swiftly dissipated.
What is he doing here? Does he want to stay at the inn or worse? Have you followed me?
What? No, not at all. I never even think about following you, but this will make a transition a lot easier, don't you think?
I hope he isn't here for the same reason, to get some of that Eliza puss. Yes, certainly. Is he intended to compete with me? If this happens, I have to absolutely fight him back, even if it means ruin it for me.
The tension between the two young men was palpable. They looked like they were in a staring contest, and after a few seconds the waiter came to distract him, averting a likely disaster. Hey, may I help you somehow?
Of course, I'd like to have my usual room when possible, and I'd like to stay in the inn for a few days.
Wait a minute, that doesn't look like an honorable behavior to me. I arrived before this other person. I believe I should be served first.
What? How insolent! You should realize your position. It's truly the right first, and I absolutely have to speak with Eliza.
Hey, you two saw that who you have to serve here. Eh?
I don't want to fit either you. What's the matter, you?
The waiter walks away.
What you say makes no sense. You're a customer just like me. Therefore, the order of arrival must be respected. I don't know care reasons. We're in the same situation.
Friends, what is this noise? Are you arguing? How did it come to this dispute?
All of a sudden, it was possible to see a new figure. A tall, strong man with dark hair and a proud aspect. Most like a new customer. Once done sorting out his luggage, he did not hesitate to step forward with great confidence.
It's simple, really. At this point, I think it's easy to deduce that the persistence of the prince is due to the fact that he's in love with the innkeeper. I love her even more. Therefore, I insisted that I should be served swiftly, so I could offer my greetings first.
Ah, in truth, there's no more futile reason for a dispute. A woman bothers you? A woman? What must I hear in that case? There's nothing to worry about. I've never loved a woman. I've never held in any esteem. I always found them utterly impossible to stand.
But look, the owner of the innkeeper is an exquisite little person.
If I love her, you can be sure there's greatness in her. Truly, you make me laugh with greatness. Must she have, which is not a peculiarity of all other women. She holds a noble demeanor. It is enthralling.
She's beautiful. She has good wits and great taste in clothing.
All these things are not worth nothing at all. I've stayed at the inn for 3 days, and an impression she's made was nothing good.
Pay attention to her. Spend some time with her. Surely you'll notice something good.
You fools! It's just a facade. You believe her, huh? I never fall for that. Away with those, all of them. They moved the mountains to find me a wife, but I never wanted one. This innkeeper, Elisa, I leave her to you, even if she was more beautiful than Aphrodite.
Shit's getting intense. I bow to your lordship, Jesus. The argument was suddenly interrupted by the girl. Boys, shit's getting lit. She wasn't used to personally greeting all customers at the inn. However, she couldn't help but hear the knight's words that were finally enough reason to step in. She was clean and smelt good. That is a weird thing to say.
Hey, innkeeper, these sheets you gave me are not to my liking. If there's anything better, I would have to procure them myself.
So you provided me bed sheets. However, you should be more respectful with your requests.
I do not have to compliment to people I pay for work for me.
The knight's tone was once so loud that it snapped the two lovers back into reality.
Forgive me, he's my enemy of women.
Poor woman, what did it do to him? Why is he so bad with them?
That's enough. No need to go further. Change my sheets. It's fine if a waiter does it. Friends, I say goodbye to you.
The knight's disdain for others was evident as he walked away. What a rude, nasty person. He was not very courteous at all. Yeah, that's true, Raven.
Dear Eliza, not everyone acknowledges your merits.
If you want to send him away, you just have to say the word. I'll have him immediately removed.
And I would happily pay off his outstanding payments with the inn.
Thank you both, I really appreciate it.
We now excuse me, but I have to go. I have business to settle with the client.
The merchant then exited within the inn without saying a word.
Dear Eliza, we're finally alone. I ache to continue the conversation we left hanging earlier. Please come to my room as soon as you can.
Oh shit.
Feel free to check out, this is only a small part of the full game available on Steam. But holy shit. Does that mean holy shit. He's sensitive. Yeah, it was really good actually. I gotta admit, that was pretty good. There's also that was one route. So there's actually other routes that we didn't do. So at the beginning, you obviously could sleep. You could get up and do stuff. If you notice, we did this one route here. So there's obviously a second chapter here. And yeah, it obviously splits. Like, it has a couple of splits here that can go off. There's actually a lot of different directions this game can go in. No, because it's Steam. There might be a patch for it. Yeah, so there's 3 endings for this. So obviously, like, just to have a look, like if we go to here, if I go here and we skip, so if I investigate, oh, see, and I got bad karma, new trait unlocked. So I'm unlocking traits as well. So there are other things that take you to different routes. So if I go back to the menu, story chapters. So now it's branched off to 1, 2. Or there's that other branch where I could get up. Yeah, so there's items, and so then if I go to extras, I think it's codex. So he has his sword down here, and then traits. So I now am a pervert, apparently. And so I guess you can play as some of these other people, I guess. But yeah, it seems pretty good. Like, I didn't, like, it wasn't too droll. Like, it wasn't dragging on too much. Like, it actually had, like, a... Yeah, Steam is starting to get loo games. They're getting there. I would recommend Elisa. So, there is actually... Let me have a look at the store page. So... Let me have a look. So, it's by Neoclassic Games. And so... There's 2 games. 2 other games. So there's the other one. Let me open the screen so we can look together. So this is Elisa the Innkeeper, inspired by the Italian culture and taking place in a Western fantasy setting. Our visual novel introduces the story of Elisa, a beautiful owner of an inn, struggling with the amorous proposal of honorable knights. So this obviously continues on. Sorry about the dogs in the background. Oh, there's a bath scene. So that's that chapter. And then there's... If we go to... There's the Seduce game. The player doesn't impersonate a simple man, but a powerful, rich, famous nobleman who seems to be able to obtain whatever he wishes for. So this one comes out in 7 days. So this is the 3rd one. So this is the 3rd game, Seduce the Innkeeper. Which, again, the art is absolutely fucking beautiful. You can date 5 different girls in this one as well. Choose carefully. So there is actually a little bit of effort put in. Like, there's a little bit of... so, yeah, just look up Elisa, and you'll see the 3 games. I'm going to add that to my wish list, though, because I want to wait for when that one comes out. The actual first game, though, is like $10, which is pretty good, considering... and the reviews for this game, apart, like, there's even karma related stuff in the first game. 4K free season pass. So if you get a season pass, you get more game. which is very rare in a visual novel like that. Yeah, there's way more positive than there is negative. So yeah, they had a re-release. There's good and bad, but there's way more good than there is bad. And I think it's a nice story, and I think it's something a little bit different in terms of visual novel. Definitely. I just want to let you guys know before I go, you guys definitely want to be here for next week. So Thursday I'm going to be streaming more Kingsway. I want to finish my game of Kingsway, which should be really fun. Now, Thursday, so that'll be Thursday. Sunday, be here for if you want to win a copy of Honeycam or Honey Pop. Both of them, which are fucking amazing. If you don't know what Honey Pop is or Honeycam Studio, go look them up. And I've also got a couple more Sakura games to give away. So if you haven't won anything yet, don't worry. You still have a chance to win something. We still have, what, 2 weekends to go? 1 weekend, 2 weekends to go. Oh, thank you, Eagle. And I was just about to say that... there it goes. I was just about to say thank you so much, Eagle, for the donations tonight. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And it's great because that's going towards charity as well. So it's really good. Thank you for making the cup runneth over. Thank you to everybody who's following us on VidMe. vid.me/Shady Corner. Keep subscribed to the channel. We've got more visual novels. A new episode comes out tomorrow, but unless you go over to VidMe, it's already out now. And, as always, hey, your boy Shades loves you. Thank you guys so much for coming out to this live stream. And I will see you guys Thursday for the retro stream, and then next Sunday for the 3rd chapter. More giveaways. Bye. Alright. Get what you paid for. Good night.